So the last part of the video I wanted to do here, actually the first part, was I wanted to cover the Draught excluder. That's this and this piece here, which I did first before I did the Weatherstrip, just because the Weatherstrip would be in the way here. And unfortunately the video didn't survive transfer from the phone, my phone camera, to my hard drive. It just corrupted, so I'll just talk you through it. A couple of things were that I attached it. I decided to attach it with double-sided carpet tape after looking at all the options, and I liked it. That worked out well. On this radius here, this radius would sit flat. It would squish over rather than sitting out nice and straight. It would squish over. So what I did was, all along this radius, I sliced the backer. I sliced the little backer to let it expand out, and that worked out well. The other thing was, as you come to here, this profile of the Draught excluder, you can see that it comes right to there, up into here. And what you should do is cut off, this is the tube that's inside the Draught excluder, like this. And you should cut that last 3 inches, put a slice right along the backing of it, and then cut this much off, and then tuck it up under here to get a nice clean edge. Now the other part of this is this finish right here. Same two-sided carpet tape on this. But the finish here is taken in maybe this much, cut that much, do a slice up like this, and about that much of the tube off, and then tuck it in. And I found a little Phillips screwdriver to push it in to make that nice finished edge. And what I did was I did that edge first, and then I cut it to length. The other thing was I ended up tucking it in this way so it didn't sit out here, but it turned out well. So I've tried a variety of tools to do this, and the one I settled on were these. Compressing it this way, kind of working my way in, being careful of the paint, and then sometimes I'd have to take a screwdriver and press here while I'm squeezing it down, press there and push up and work on it. But this is tougher than it looks, unless there's an easier way to do it. Okay, I'm down to the finish. I'm down to the finish here, the last one. Got all the rest of these in, and I'm down to, you can see the witness marks on there. If we put this at the same place right there, you can see it just lines right up with how the Draught excluder, the felt one behind it, goes. So I'm going to cut this one right flush with the Draught excluder. That must be what they did. And again, I left it till the end, so it didn't come up short. Okay, we're done here, and I'm happy with that. The only thing that makes me a little disappointed is that it tore right here rather than cut. So I'm still okay, but wasn't happy with the fact it tore, so I lost the profile right there. But nobody but me will ever notice that. The door shuts. Well, it takes a little bit more pressure to shut it now, but I suspect as the Draught excluder wears in, that it will be better. The other thing is that I think I've got this overlapping here a little bit, and I think it's pushing against that. So I may trim that a little bit more, or just push it that way. There we go. Just pushed it that way. Let's see what happens now. No, it still takes the same amount of effort, but that's not much. It's a good solid shut. I suspect as it wears in, it will take care of that. But I think we're all sealed up there just fine. Maybe not quite there. Previous owner had a little, I think, had a little bit extra right there on the other side, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, there's that side done. Now I need to install the one on the other side, and I'll do it while the door is still off, and that'll be better. Okay, note to self. The fastest way to put these in is to put this up against it and pop it from the back with your palm. So just stick it in the hole. I'll have to line that a little bit more carefully. I stick it in the hole. Put a piece of wood. I use wood so I don't scratch the paint, and then pop the end with the with your palm, and it'll pop right in there a lot easier than the way I was fighting it before. Okay, I had some rust and pitting right along here, and I used a variety of tools to try to address it. Still got a tiny bit left here and there, although what looks like rust there is really paint. But I think that's enough now. I put a little rust converter on there, and I'm happy that I've stopped it. I used one of these Harbor Freight $15 sandblast guns. I've always wanted to use this thing, and I've never done it. And I finally went ahead and yeah, okay. I finally went ahead and hooked it up and tried it, and learned a couple of things. One is don't point it down, because if you do point it down, it dumps. I emptied the whole hopper in about 45 seconds pointing it down. When I kept it, I propped the door up instead and went horizontally on it, and the hopper lasted longer than I needed for the rest of it. I had about a third of the hopper left, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to, now I'll put some rust converter on that last little bit, and prime it and paint it with some matching spray can paint that I bought, and it's good with that. And the blue tape, the blue painter's tape, by the way, is plenty strong enough to stop the to prevent damage to the paint. It's because it's soft. The other thing I didn't realize is that the media would come up in a whirl and come up against, that's mostly there, but it would take the black off of this. So I'll have to, I was going to re-blacken this door anyway, but next time I will put tape over that edge too if I do this again. Lesson learned. Okay, I'm getting there. I wanted to see, now that the paint's done, I wanted to see how much of that shiny paint, you can see it's much shinier, would show through after the weather strip is on, and that's the orientation of the weather strip that way. So it'll go like this and like this. So by the time you get down, there'll be a little bit there. All that'll be covered up. When this piece goes on and clips on up here, there'll be a tiny bit here. I don't think that's worth worrying about. The paint did come out a lot shinier than not so much shinier than this, but shinier than this over here. I'm not going to worry about it. The purpose of this was simply to prevent it from continuing to rust until someday I paint the car. So I'm good with that. So now I'll just use some of this 3M Weatherstrip adhesive to put this side on. I'll put this on with the clips, and then I can put the door back on. So our Weatherstrip is installed. It looks good, and it does require. Now I used to be able to just shut the door like that, and I can't anymore. Now I have to give it a good solid thunk, but everything seems to be in good shape. The door acts properly and is a good solid shut. So overall, Weatherstrip is fine. But while I was at it too, when I mounted it, I went ahead and I have new hinge screws. I went ahead and did a quick spray over of the hinge screws so that they blend in. You can't see it because of the light there, but overall, pretty good.